two forests converge at the border of a mystic ley line. The first forest is dark and humid, its putrid swamps echoing with the buzz of flies and the croak of a lone frog. From the mire, thin fingers retrieve a Golgari signet. A voice whispers quietly,
"Finally, I will have my revenge on those self-righteous dragons. They thought they could trap me here and drain my power. They thought wrong."
Nearby, at the edge of a rolling plain, nature's lore speaks of a great canopy vista stretching into the horizon. Within this expanse lies a dragon sanctuary, a safe haven meant to protect the forest's creatures from the dark denizens of the swamp. Today the dragon's courage will be tested. Nearby, in an exotic orchard bearing dark fruits among swirling magical mists, Aphelia, Viper Whisperer, plots her vengeance against the dragon's stronghold known as the Temple of Plenty. The temple boldly sits on the border of the Triface lands where plains, swamps, and forests meet. At the vertex of this convergence lies a pulsing golden Fellwar stone, its power granting strength and magical ability to the dragons who have protected the temple's mission for hundreds of years. Fearlessly from out of the swamp, the assassin Aphelia swiftly rushes across the open. Her quick-draw katana close by, she slashes at the temple wall with bare hands. Her magic essence produces a small, magically imbued poisonous snake, ready to either defend her assault or strike offensively when needed. Rocks crash to the ground as a majestic green and white dragon rises over the wall.
"How dare you? My name is Dromoka, the Eternal, sister of the Dragonlord Dromoka. You will not disgrace this temple with your hatred."
"Well, I have a sister too, and her cruelty knows no bounds. Hythonia the Cruel, come to my aid. Let's rid our swamp of these meddling dragons."
"It would be my pleasure."
A raspy voice replies as stones shift beneath a dark, slithering shape. Shadows fill the secluded courtyard as a second large, powerful gorgon appears. Aphelia attacks again, her poison-dripping daggers barely chipping away at the temple's massive walls. Suddenly, from the edge of a clearing near an enchanted hiding place called Mosswort Bridge, Dragonlord Dromoka lands amid a flutter of leaves and beating wings.
"Creatures of the forest, fear not, we must drive the invaders back."
Bolstered by these bold words, Dromoka, the Eternal, deepens her assault. She soars into the swamp's heart to extinguish the dark magic fueling the Gorgon's attack, tearing through the exotic orchard and ripping vines from the earth, weakening the Gorgon's magic. Enraged at the decimation of her forest, Aphelia hands the quick-draw katana to Hythonia.
"Equip this, sister. It grants you the power of first strike, allowing you to kill the mightiest dragons with ease."
"I will take your snake essence and shatter their walls."
"I know you will, Hythonia, I'm proud."
Aphelia then chants dark, vile words in a forgotten tongue. As Hythonia assaults the temple, she grows and pulsates with unholy power. Dragonlord Dromoka watches in horror as the snake and Gorgon crash into her beloved temple with unimaginable force. As the haze clears from the devastating attack, a smooth, calming voice fills the glade.
"I am Vivien, monster's advocate. I serve the temple and will aid the dragons in their time of need."
A dark green figure steps over Mosswort Bridge from her hideaway and faces the Gorgon sisters. Raising her arms, she summons a beast that seems to materialize from a shimmering portal at her outstretched hand.
"I bestow vigilance upon you, beast."
In her other hand she clutches a sword. Dragonlord Dromoka approaches cautiously.
"Vivien, is this really the Blackblade Reforged?"
"Yes."
Vivien replies.
"Take it, for only a legendary creature such as you may equip it. Through your life force, you may rejuvenate our veil and banish the Gorgons to their lair."
The dragons attack simultaneously. Dromoka the Eternal bolsters herself twice while her sister charges, bearing the legendary Blackblade Reforged. Together they smash into Aphelia's orchard, draining the swamp's life force and returning it to the temple. Hythonia trembles at the ferocity of the assault, her heart pounding with rage. She clutches a magical pendant on her chest and shatters the black crystal within it.
"Now you will see what monster I truly am."
Under tendrils of black smoke she grows hideously. Drifting through the courtyard, the noxious fumes poison Dromoka, and with great suffering the Eternal drops dead. Hythonia and Aphelia laugh uncontrollably, immune to gorgon poison, as Dromoka flees to her command zone.
I will avenge you, sister.
This is not over.
Aphelia and Hythonia resume their assault on the temple. As the smoke clears, Vivien reappears in the courtyard.
You didn't think it would be that easy, did you?
She raises her arms and summons another vigilant beast. Overhead, Dragonlord Dromoka bursts forth from the safety of her command zone, landing near the Blackblade on the ground where she had fled the poisonous attack. Sensing defeat, Aphelia cries to the swamp.
Reclamation Sage. For many years you were my only friend among the elves after they forced me from my homeland and betrayed my trust. Aid me today and use your magic to destroy the legendary blade the dragon wields.
The forest pulses and shimmers. In a flash, an old elf materializes before Aphelia.
I am always here with you,
He declares, and as he speaks, the great black blade turns to dust in Dromoka's claws. Emboldened, Aphelia exclaims,
This will be my sanctum of eternity.
Hythonia and Aphelia attack while a mystical snake silently takes position to guard the courtyard. Vivien's beast moves to intercept Hythonia but is struck down instantly, as the quick-draw katana grants her the speed to evade its claws. Meanwhile, Aphelia strikes the temple. The forest trembles as if the temple itself cries for help. A misshapen elemental force, the Forgotten Ancient, lumbers into the courtyard while Yarsharn, implacable earth, bounds in from the plains, his mighty tusks heralding his protective presence. Vivien once again summons a beast from thin air. Dromoka's heart leaps as she realizes these aren't merely woodland allies, they're an army.
I will stand in defense of the temple.
Dread whispers float lifelessly in the swamp as power surges anew within Aphelia. A tangle asp slithers toward her, and a mosswood dread knight ambles from the forest, as if returning from a long adventure.
Now we have our own army,
she declares. She hisses, addressing Dromoka.
We're coming for your temple.
Sensing defeat as dark power swells within Aphelia, Dromoka invokes the return of the wild speaker. Multiple possibilities race through her mind as a path to victory takes shape. First, Hythonia the cruel must fall to the winds of abandon. Then a topiary stomper must stand proud in defense of the courtyard. Dromoka unleashes the wind, and Hythonia cries out in dismay as a portal opens behind her, quickly drawing her into another dimension. No! Cries Aphelia as she kneels in anguish at the spot where her sister once stood.
Did somebody say, more beasts?
Vivien questions as a large beast with trampling hooves appears beside her outstretched hands.
This is going to be a slaughter.
She snips while Dromoka and her army ready themselves for defense. As if in desperation, Aphelia notices a rogue's passage on the side of the temple as she retrieves the quick-draw katana left where Hythonia once stood.
I will avenge you,
she vows. Repeating her arcane chant, black venom drips from her blade as cracks form in the temple walls. Yet Dromoka seems smug and draws an immense amount of power from the Forgotten Ancient. Surging with energy, she opens her massive jaws and inhales, consuming Aphelia's life force and spirit in a vortex of eldritch power.
No one defiles this temple.
She roars as legions of snakes retreat to the swamp and the peaceful creatures begin to repair the broken temple.
Let me sing you the tale of a dragon temple in the wood, defending from evil, fighting with honor, the righteous and good. They slayed the gorgons and snakes with the help of a black-bladed sword, dancing with beasts in the courtyard.